Well, Dawn, I'm like super stoked to have you here today. I felt for some reason when I first met you, I don't know, there was just something about this lady. I need to get to know her or go deep with you. And so we're just going to talk about times in the past that stand out for you in your life that maybe could be inspirational for other people. So to start things off, you run a business of your own. You're also the president of the Kelowna Women in Business.
Yes.
So before we dive into all that stuff though, I want you to think back to like when you were a kid. What's the wildest thing that you ever wanted to be when you grew up?
You know what? It's funny because I don't remember that there was a thing to be except for I wanted to be a millionaire. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to be a millionaire.
Oh,
I know, weird, right?
that's wild.
No, I want to be, I don't know, a ballet dancer, horseback rider. Yeah.
Where did you get that inspiration from, do you
I
think?
have no idea. I think in school, I was always like the smart one, and so was sort of put on that track of being sent to conferences and things, like especially in high school. I was always picked to go travel, and that was just, I don't know, how I think in my brain how I measured success was like, well, yeah, you just go be an entrepreneur and you make money.
How seriously did you take that desire?
I don't think I did. I think I just went forth and was like, this is the goal. But there was no plan of how do I get there? It was just, there was no plan.
What is something that's in your life right now that you once thought was absolutely impossible?
I don't know if impossible, but I think if you would have asked me even in my 20s, if I would have this big family, I would have been like, are you joking? Even when I got married, I'm like, you have 2 kids. You have one for each hand, one for each window of the car. This is what you do. And I have 5 kids now.
Wow.
I know. That's a big family. And I think I would have laughed if somebody would have told me that.
So when you think back to, over the years, what dream or goal did you almost give up on, but then didn't?
When I was in my 20s, I moved into Vancouver. I got a job in Vancouver and I bought my apartment. It was tough to work and pay a mortgage in Vancouver, and it was scary. And that was the time where they had all the leaky condo stuff. These apartments were leaking, and then you would have to pay special fees and things like that. And it was hard, and I was grinding it out. And I remember walking to work instead of paying would have been like maybe $1.50 for a bus to save that money, to save that $1.50. I was working 2 jobs. I was working restaurants in the weekend to pay my mortgage.
You were like, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah, because it could have been really easy to just sell and get out and, I don't know, go home or rent. And it was like, no, like you just get another job and you just keep going forward.
What motivated you to keep going forward?
I think it's that you don't want to lose. I'm pretty competitive and I don't want to lose. I didn't want to bail. I was like, no, we can do this. I just kept going. Saving that money.
Yeah.
Paying those bills. Yeah. I think that probably comes from my family. I was born in England, and my parents were very much wanting a better life for us as a family and willing to take that risk. And when I was 2, my sister was 4, my dad took a job in Ontario and left everything behind. All of his family, all of his everything, taking a chance for the opportunity for a better life for us.
So you saw that early on, and it was inspirational in a way. It looks like it's making you emotional.
It is.
That's what you're talking about it.
Coming all this way, and back then, travel was not easy like it is now, and not seeing your family and not getting to really talk to them because it was, to phone back then was expensive.
What fear or obstacle do you think that you faced along the way, and how did you overcome it?
I don't particularly remember being afraid. It was like, shoot, you have this mortgage, you got to pay it, and you just figure out a way. Like you find a way to find a way, and you just do, right? I think that when you're faced in those situations, and I'm very lucky. I have a family that's very supportive and that supports me and that I could turn to for help. But I think it's that pride thing. You're like, no, I can figure this out. I think you just need to really believe in yourself and believe in possibility, right? Like when you look around, you're like, other people are doing this. So what's so different from them than me? And I think that's when you see people that come from very hard circumstances, there's no safety net for them. So they're not risking anything really to move themselves forward because there's no comfort zone that they're coming from. They're coming from, I got nothing to lose. I might as well ever take a shot. And so when you look around and you see other people can do this, I can do this too.
You also run a business of your own. And so did you always know that you were going to do that?
I don't think so. It just sort of happened. My husband and I have a production company. He's a writer and he's been involved in a lot of film production. We were in film together in Vancouver, so that's where we met. We have a company there where we do content creation. So he writes, I do a lot of design work and that kind of thing. So that was kind of my first step into getting back into work, working with him. And then at some point in my journey after having kids, when I was back to exercising and working out and things like that, I thought this would be a perfect part-time job. I could go be a personal trainer. And so I went and did that. Those were sort of my two paths. And I think as I've sort of gone over the years and built more in the fitness and nutrition part, content is a big piece of that, of course, for any business. So I'm really glad to have that kind of background. And I still do work in that area when I can, because that creative piece I really like. I chose at that point to go into health. I love working with people. I love helping women especially. So I love what I do.
And I can only imagine that as an entrepreneur, even though this was something you aspired to do for many, many years, that there's moments, right, where it's tough and that
it's tough.
You could throw in the towel. What's kept you going?
I don't know. I think you have those moments, and I'm pretty sure every entrepreneur does, where you're like, screw this, and you're, looking through Indeed, like, where's the jobs? I want somebody to just pay me. This seems hard. And then you're like, what? I would have to show up from 9 to 5 every day? That sounds terrible. I would prefer to work, 24/7 at home, but it seems like the easy way out to be like, I just want to go work for somebody else. They can pay me. They can tell me what to do. I won't have to think so much. And then you're like, but I like the flexibility of, being able to go where I want and schedule around my life and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
there's definitely a freedom in being an entrepreneur.
there is, but I think it's like false freedom.
The false freedom. Yeah, because it is 24/7, isn't it?
It's 24/7. But if on Friday at noon I want to go, I don't know, to the beach, I can.
Yeah.
But you see those memes of entrepreneurs, and it's like in any kind of 5-minute time, it can be like, this is the best thing I've ever done. This is terrible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's all the emotions. Forget about being within like one day. It can be with like in a 5-minute span. You have all of these emotions, and one email can trigger all of that happening. Or you get one new client or one terrible thing happen, and you kind of go all over the place. So I think it's just calming down and staying the course and going back to that belief in yourself. This is not rocket science. Other people are doing this. Just keep moving forward. It's one step at a time. It's not everything at once. And I think that's for anybody and anything. You have to believe in yourself for others to believe in you too. You have to start with that confidence so that others trust in that. It feels like security for them too. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your dream. And you see examples of this all the time. People that for no reason are successful, it's because they have that strong belief in their dream and in themselves and in their ability to do it. You can have people that are amazingly intelligent and talented and all of that stuff, but if you don't have that belief,
So how do you nurture the belief?
How do you nurture I don't know. I think that comes from surrounding yourself with circles of influence that align. I think it's important in many areas of your life to have some kind of a coach or mentor. I do it for myself. I have a business coach. I've hired fitness and nutrition coaches for myself in the past because I think that is important to have that guidance and have somebody be your cheerleader that is there, that's on your side, that's rooting for you, so that when your belief slips, they're like, no, we got this.
Finding a mentor, finding that person. Some people have economic resources to do that and others don't. What suggestions or advice would you have for that?
Yeah, I think that there's all kinds of ways to find that. Resources that are free or low cost in the community. There's a lot of people willing to donate their time to support people. I find especially women in business are happy to support other women and mentor other women. I've had so many women give up their time for me. So it's sort of that feeling of paying that forward to others that are maybe struggling a bit. But I do find that if you are seeking, those opportunities are out there. And they're just there for you to find. And just saying, this is what I'm looking for, asking.
Yeah.
If you don't ask, it's not just gonna, come down from the sky. You've got to ask and you've got to pursue. And then, I don't know, it falls into place. It really does.
So many good nuggets there. So many good nuggets. What's something that you learned about yourself in pursuit of these businesses and these endeavors?
I'm really bad at asking.
Okay.
I'm really bad at asking.
Yeah.
I have like, I don't know if you have this, like the Post-its around your computer monitor, remember this and remember this. And one of them is ask. You have to ask for what you want. Nobody knows what you want. They're not reading your mind. But for me, I'd be like, this is me and this is the opportunity I'm looking for. Why aren't you asking me how you can help me? Right? So crazy. And it's like, no, you have to ask for that. And people are free to say no. It's within their power and their right to say no. Like, that doesn't work for me. But if you don't ask, you never know what the opportunity is. There's been really just hilarious instances where I've like, okay, I'm meeting with this person for coffee and I'm just going to ask them. I'm just going to ask them if they want to work with me on this project. And you know, you put your big girl pants on and out you go. And it's like, hey, do you think that this would be a great thing if we could work together on this? And their eyes light up and they're like, oh my gosh, that'd be so amazing. That'd be amazing for me. That would be great for you. It's a win-win for everybody. And I'm like, oh, of course it would. You're so silly.
Yeah, and yet you were scared to even ask it or not, or
Yes.
holding back.
Yeah, holding back from asking.
So then, I mean, what shifts you in that moment when you're like, oh, I don't want to ask, but then you do?
Yeah, you just do. You find those words. I think sometimes you kind of practice that in your mind. But at some point, you have to ask. And I'm very fortunate to have a lot of mentors. I mean, I have business coaches that I pay for, but a lot of mentors that are just women in the community. And they show some tough love. And they'll give me deadlines. You need to go ask for this. And next time I see you, I want you to tell me how it went. So there's like a deadline and a time.
That's incredible. That's amazing that you've actually experienced and benefited from that mentorship and accountability in a way.
Yes,
It's like
and I think that maybe that's just the community that I've surrounded myself with. It's women that aren't out there to compete, that are like, hey, we can lift everybody up. If I've got something that I'm doing that's working, I'm going to share it with you so that you can succeed too. Why would I not do that?
And so I guess in closing, what's one message that you'd share with somebody who feels like their dream is completely out of reach?
Yeah, you got to work on shifting that thought. Your thoughts are so powerful. The things that you think, they determine your emotions, they determine your actions. Right? Everything stems from that thought. And you really have to work on changing your thoughts. And then that will change your feelings. And then that will change your actions that come from there. I think that's just really important. And it's not easy, but nobody said it was easy. But I think that really is the root. I think the root of it is your thoughts about yourself, your thoughts about your dreams and your capabilities, and just changing that. People can have same circumstance, two different thoughts. And if they get to the checkout and that line is only 5 minutes, one's going to be pissed off, one's going to be ecstatic. And all it was is just a different thought. To me, that's everything. How you think about how you approach situations in your mind first.
Sounds like success is really an inside job.
It is. Like, that's so good.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, I feel like that's a great tagline. That's an inside job. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, thanks so much for sharing, your
100%.
words of wisdom here. I have a feeling that there's going to be some really interesting nuggets that are going to be great inspiration.
I hope
for people who are
so. I
watching.
don't feel like wise, but I love that you said that.
No, it's beautiful. Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Dawn.
it.
It was amazing having this opportunity to talk with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good.